things that I used to love to do when I was practicing was make up my own exercises. And I'm going to show you one now. This one was pretty much designed to target your independence and your coordination. And you know, it's always cool if you can make an exercise musical. So I'm going to show you what I did with this. This is a very, very simple little exercise that you can do that's really effective in separating your hands from your feet. You know, and there's a lot of other things that you can work on technically at the same time. You know, developing your touch on the snare, your ghost notes and all that kind of stuff. Your timing as well. Like it targets a lot of things at once, but the main purpose for this exercise was to help you to develop your independence and your coordination. Okay? So, all it involves is just playing a single paradiddle, right, left, right, left, left, okay? And all we're gonna do is we're gonna play that over top of just a straight quarter note on the bass drum, okay? But the key or the trick to this exercise is that we're gonna displace the quarter on the kick, okay? We're gonna displace it first by an eighth note, and then by a 16th note around the one, so that you know, you're able to always keep that steady thing happening on top while moving that foot around on the bottom. It's really gonna have a nice effect on you know, separating your hands and your feet, okay? So I'm gonna show you this real quick. We're gonna start first with the quarter note, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it with a 16 note. And then afterwards, hopefully you'll get to the point where you can bounce back and forth between the four of them, just kind of weave in and out. Once you get to that point, then you know you're on a good path to working on that separation. Okay, so we're gonna start with the first one. The first one will be single paradiddle on top, using the hats and the snare, and then we're gonna displace the paradiddle first by an eighth note to the right of the one. Okay, so an eighth note after one. Okay, and generally I like to do things in 2-bar flips. So we're gonna do 2 bars of playing it straight, and then 2 bars of the displacement, and then back and forth and back and forth. Okay, so let me show you that one first. Single paradiddle, quarter note after the one. Okay, so example number 2 will be the same thing on top, except we're going to shift the quarter note on the bass drum by an eighth note to the left of the one. Okay, so an eighth note right before the one. Okay, so that will sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay? So let's try that. so these next two are for you advanced players because this is really kind of tricky. You got to be really tight with your timing on this. You got to make sure that you nail it where you're supposed to nail it. Okay, this third example that what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing on top, but this time we're going to displace the quarter note by a 16th note to the right of the 1. Okay, so a 16th note right after 1, okay, is where you're going to start it. Comes up real quick, okay, so you're going to have to be tight with it. Make sure you nail that 16th. That's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, so here's what that sounds like. Okay, so example number 4, what we're going to do, obviously you probably know by now, we're going to take the bass drum pattern, we're going to shift it by a 16th note to the left of the 1, okay, so right before the 1. Keep everything up here, up top, the same, and shift that kick drum pattern, okay? It's going to come up nice and quick, so you got to make sure that, that you're able to nail it, okay? And that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, so it's going to land on the ah right before 1 if you counted 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Okay, and here's what that sounds like on the kit. Okay, so there you have it. Those are your 4 examples of how you can use just a basic single paradiddle and just quarter notes on the kick drum, how you can apply that to the kit to help you to develop your independence and your coordination, okay? The goal with this exercise is to never break what's happening on top, okay? You want to make sure that you play a steady stream of 16 notes with a nice floor dynamic so you can get that backbeat happening, and then just be able to shift that quarter note on the bottom. Okay, this is really, really good training to help you get a little bit further into playing over bar lines and stuff like that. This is a good way to sort of get into that kind of thing. Yeah, and it's just a really cool tool to help you work on your independence. So the advanced stage of this, after you got those 4 down, okay, if you want to kick it up a notch, here's what you do. You take that now, move your right hand over to the ride symbol, okay? Play the single paradiddle between the ride and the snare, okay? Keep your displacements happening on the bass drum. And at the same time, you're going to play all of the upbeats with your left foot on the hi-hat, okay? You're going to just sort of clap the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 on the hi-hats. Play all of the ands or all of the upbeats while you're doing all of this, okay? That's some next level stuff right there. Always make sure you're using a metronome to do this, okay? And make sure that when you are using your metronome, that you highlight that 1. So you turn up that accent so that it counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You want to have that accent on the 1 so that you know where you are, okay? That's important because that's the whole point of this thing, is to be able to do all of this and always be aware of where the 1 is, okay? So that would be the next step if you want to do that. Just practice going from 1 to the next, to the next, to the next, or flip back and forth like we did in 2-bar flips if you want. 2 bars groove, 2 bars of the displacement, and do all of that while playing all of the upbeats on the hi-hat with your left foot, okay? And that's really going to play a good part in helping you develop that separation between your hands and your feet. If you can keep all of this happening at the same time while keeping your time consistent, that's good stuff, okay? So I'm gonna just show you that real quick and then end it off with that. So that's the exercise. Single paradiddle, quarter notes on the kick, displaced. It's good stuff, okay? Make sure you get on that. Peace.